What's up, guys? We are still in Nashville. I am with the Tennessee Destroyer himself.
All right. I like it.
Want to tell the people anything real quick before we get into?
No, man. I'm Lunch Michael Carrick. Played Invoker today. Had a great time. That's it.
So, how is this deck still whooping ass taking names?
Bro, I got the most broken card in the game, and I'm gonna abuse it till Bandai realizes it. But it just took out the worst card of the deck, which was that old Vegeta. Yeah.
So we don't play that shit no more.
Nah, this is the Invoker leader. If you don't know what it does by now, check out one of my older videos. I explain it in every video. But we're gonna try to make this one a little quicker for the new guys. We play 4 of the tops. The mulligan still hasn't changed. You're still looking for this card. All 6 cards back if you don't find this card. Doesn't matter if you find side cards because you can't use them until turns 2 or 3 anyway. Play 4 beans. This card is crucial to killing your opponent now. You need at least 2 in your hand when you go into your turn 5 to create some of the more broken win con lines. The other 2 you can use as Cycle Father, Defensive Father, but just make sure you somehow have 2 by the time at least 2 by the time you get to your kill turn. 4 copies of D-Magic. I always say this deck is 2 colors. It's blue and 1 bad color. D-Magic is the proof of that card. You get 2 mana back to make all of your defensive plays. This card's insane. And then for your spell lineup, we play 4 of these Death Beams, 4 Condemns, and then whatever combination of Catastrophic Blows or Demonic Waves, Explosive Demon Waves. I play the 2 and 2 split. Sometimes you do need the burn damage to win the match. Sometimes you need the counter. Speaking of counter, this only counters battle card attacks, and then you get a mana back. I actually didn't even know that when I first started playing with the card. The card's insane.
So it's like a helix.
Yes. Early game, you want to ideally be cycling these, and maybe these, and 1 or 2 of those Death Beams. You want to try to hold Death Beams for the late game.
Because you can just get them back with the leader ability on the back
Correct.
side.
Yeah, or the Rival Seeker more often. We play 4 copies of Sleepy Boy Technique.
That's the second MVP of the deck.
This is probably one of the best cards in the game. For 3 mana, it's already broken, where you can draw 2, negate the attack, and remove things. So it blocks 2 attacks and draws 2 for 3 mana. But for 1 energy, this is the most ridiculous card I've ever seen.
We ain't said that, Bandai.
Yeah. Tyranny's Cost is in the deck mainly as a filler slot. It's really good in game 1 when people don't know how to pressure you yet, or in case you win the die roll. Plus, it lets you on turn 4 for 1 mana get closer to your Apex requirement. But like I said, it's also the easiest card to side out in almost every matchup that isn't hand control. 2 copies of Instinctive Reprisal. This card is not the greatest card in the deck, but it is a tutorable counter attack that your leader can pick up. It's mainly why we play it. Sometimes it does come up as like an extra negate on turn 2 in case you're going against a super fast deck.
Plus that minus ability because it is the bad color.
It does, yes. But it does let you, it increases your win rate against Gogeta Xeno. Just due to the True Fighting Spirits. They can play 2 True Fighting Spirits, and then with 1 Instinctive, you can knock them both out.
All right, guy. Like you said, if your locals has a bunch of Gogeta Xeno, you just get this deck.
We'll play 2 copies of Combination Attack. This card is really in here because of that new Black Trunks. They pay 2 mana for Black Trunks. You pay 1 mana effectively for Combination Attack as it untaps 1 and it removes it from the game.
It gets Thanos.
While getting a draw off your leader front side. It's the most ridiculous interaction. And if you have Invoker up, this is actually a 0 mana removal card for any 5 drops or less.
It has a helix effect.
Yep. And then 2 copies of Wearing This Together. This is our fake draw card. Sometimes we do use it for a board wipe. A lot of Invoker players are playing 1. I think that's insane because this card comes up on turn 3 so much more commonly now with the MVP in the deck. You don't have to commit the Vegeta, so this card is way better. But like I said, it's also a pseudo draw card because you can just combo with your leader and then pick it up later as an extra combo card. The newest change to the deck, 4 copies of Xeno Super Combo. I'm going to talk about this a little bit more than some of these other cards since none of these really changed. Xeno Super Combo over Beerus. This has been widely debated for many years while I played the deck. The first reason for the Xeno Super Combo is that it lets us pick up our blue energy that we used turn 1 for top, and then we can cycle whatever energy it was, and now we can get a red-blue energy down. It's super important with the new MVP card. The second big thing about the Xeno is it lets us hide our win cons in our energy, like our Apex, our 6-drop, or our Rival Seeker. They can now sit in our energy where they're relatively safe in this game, and you can pick them up later to win. It's additionally, after you use your backside leader effect to add 3 extra cards to your hand, you can Xeno for extra combo power. So you use Xeno to pick up like a Rival Seeker you had down there, put down one of the extra cards that you added with your leader, and now Xeno is effectively worth 20k super combo power with the Rival Seeker. It has so many more uses than that. On the front side, you can, if you have to awaken on your turn, you can play Zeno to spend the 1 mana to draw a card. Now you've used a 1 mana, and then you can awaken Surge after you play the Zeno to get them energy back and draw actually a 4th card effectively. I could keep going all day about this card, but I love this card today. It does make your energy explosion recharge a lot harder because you don't have as many multicolor cards. Like Beerus usually was the first card you put back there, but I really didn't miss that at all day. And then of course the actual MVP of the deck. Android 17
Please
MVP.
hit up these online regionals, and if you can't attend in person, you can get some of these.
Yes, this card is absolutely ridiculous for the deck. Before, the deck's only weakness was that you had to commit 3 energy to a removable Invoker. Now you only have to commit 1 energy to a nearly irremovable Invoker. Even if they play Release from Evil, it only removes Invoker for your turn. Then this effect will actually persist and return Invoker to your leader for your opponent's turn.
Hold on. Repeat that again. I don't think they heard you.
Bro, if they Release from Evil Release from Evil only removes Invoker for your turn. Then they get that, you get Invoker back for their turn. There is no way to remove this card. It's ridiculous.
You heard it right here. You heard it right here, guys.
And then for those who haven't actually read the card, you keep Invoker for your next turn too. So like when you go into your kill turn on 5, you have Invoker still for 0 energy to kill your opponent with. That's just ridiculous.
This is why that card says winner right there.
Yeah. Additionally, this card is a 5k combo, which this deck has been crying for the last 3 years. Now you can't even just leave your attacks at 15 or 25 because the deck can easily combo out of any real attacks now. And then furthermore, it's an auto awaken target. Like it's a red card that you want to put under your leader that you instantly detach for your Surge Awakening, and then now it's in the drop and you instantly warp.
You just pay 1 now. You got Invoker.
And you have Invoker again. This card has done way too much in this deck. I never feel like I'm in any danger while I have this live. It's crazy. And then of course your standard win cons: 4 Rival Seeker, 1 burn option, 2 triple strike option. So the ways to play this card, this is some of the reason why we keep those 2 beans at the end. You want to be able to set up so that you can slam down your Apex to Fu Shroud and miss your opponent. Then you can go down whichever win con line you need. And like I said, you can hide them in your energy. So the Zeno's even better now because these used to be horrible dead draws early game. But you can charge them now and then pick them up later with your Zeno to try to go for game with them, which is amazing. There's not much to be said about Apex. I truly think this is the best SCR in the game. No card in the game other locks your opponent out of 2 turns of the game, and then if you recycle this card, you can lock him out of another 2 turns, which has happened, and it's just super unfair. Yeah. That's the main deck profile. Super slim. Did work today. The only change I'd like to make to it, awkwardly, and it's going to take a lot of mathematical testing, is if I want to play a 53rd card in the deck to make side decking easier. But right now the deck is sitting at 52 because you would just deck out.
And 52 is like the perfecto number.
It is right now. It definitely is right now. Right, quickly into the side deck. We got 2 copies of Violent Rage for Gogeta Xeno and Sin Shenron Aggro. Deck. I cited 1 copy all day. I never needed the second copy. 2 copies of Phantom Fist for King Piccolo and Red Goku.
What does it do against King Piccolo?
So this card is absolutely insane. For 2 mana on your turn, and you pay 2 mana on your turn, and then at the end of the turn, you get 1 of your red or blue energy back. And then at the start of your opponent's turn, it kills a 15k. Just minuses a 15k. So you for free get to clear Tambourine or get to clear Symbol, right? But later in the game, at turn 4, if you have 4 more energy, instead of paying the energy cost for this, you can discard a red card. Activate the
When you want to discard that guy?
You just discard your MVP on turn 4, activate your MVP for that 1 energy, and then going back to your opponent's turn, you get your 1 energy back because of Phantom Fist, and you kill a battle card.
So it gave you a Helix effect.
Yeah.
We pitched the card we really wanted to pitch anyway.
Yeah, I was like, this
for
card.
0 commitment.
Yeah, insane. And then versus Red Goku, a lot of times you can bait Red Goku into comboing a card to defend their Android 17 on turn 2, because they always will, since that card gets free advantage, and then you just Phantom Fist it after. So you got a free value, and you only spent 1 mana to kill their Android after.
Meanwhile, they wasted their hand.
Yeah, which you're not going to give them a hand. If you're playing this deck, just avoid attacking the leader unless you absolutely have to. 2 copies of the Dirty Burst for that same deck for Red Ku as they go into their turn 4 or 5 and they need to play their big bombs. You're just going to Dirty Burst them for 2 energy, and now they spent 4 mana to pass their own turn back to you.
Or Sin Shenron.
Or Sin Shenron. Good point. Aggro Sin Shenron, Dirty Burst, also great for them to pass their turn back to you.
He does so.
And then my last 2 of in the side deck, 2 copies of Beerus Ball. Beerus Ball is also another King Piccolo tech and sometimes an anti-green tech. Anti-green not so much anymore because now for 0 energy we get to upkeep Royal Condemnation going into our kill turns because we don't need Vegeta anymore. But also versus King Piccolo, when they go to play a free Tambourine or free symbol from their energy, or from their life, sorry, you can take a life, or you can just pay an energy to send that John to the drop, and then you gain a bean effect. That's ridiculous to me. The fact that we haven't been playing this card versus them blows my mind. This came up hella hard in the King Piccolo matchup. You clear the field once, then you hold up one of these, and they never get to recreate that field.
The third one.
The third combination attack for those black decks. That Trunks, this is an easy out to the Trunks. It's also good versus Red Coup. All their guys have limit 1, so they play down their dudes, like especially the Frieza, they play down the Frieza, they get 1 swing, you get a cycle with your leader for free, and then you, for 0 mana, put the card back in their hand.
Pain.
Second copy of Energy Explosion for those decks that take themselves down to 4 life. So we actually trade out one of these Limit Surpass for the other Energy Explosion a lot of times in the side deck. Most of the time your goal is to slam Apex and get one of them down. Obviously for like decks that have 6 or more life, you're going to put this guy down so that you can lock him out of skills and attack him infinitely times. But for decks that just have 4 life, put the Apex down, slam this guy down. You get to have 3 energy back. Spend one of those energy on Caplo to put them down to 2. They can't do anything on their turn, so they'll try to play, pass it back to you, and then you just burn them again for 2 and it's game. We have 1 copy of Beerus Ball, strictly for Gogeta Xeno, actually.
You mean the Realm of the God, Beer Destroys?
Sorry, yeah, Realm of the God Beerus. I just call this card Beerus Ball, it's a squab. But yeah, you really only using it for the activate battle, remove a 2-drop or less, and draw a card. It lets you get out of the True Fighting Spirits attacks, especially if you're trading 1 energy for their 1 energy effectively, because they spend an energy from Marvelous Might to go into 2 of them. So you just spent 1 energy to combo out of 1 of them, and then bottom deck the other one.
Get rid of that.
Yeah.
The one that hits her hand, just get rid of it.
Yeah, this card is way too good. I would never use it for the other effect where you get rid of a 6-drop or less, because there are no battle cards in the game that really threaten you like that. So you really want it for that draw. 1 copy of Unending Awakening for those 15k attacks. This was my AOD Respect card. That deck is all 15k attackers. It's a negate, and then it beans your leader, and it's a red negate, which is really great. Ironically now, charging red cards in this deck is way better than charging blue cards, which is really, really weird to say.
And the AOD player gets up.
Yeah, AOD was a threat. Solid did not have this in the side deck.
Sadness.
Brutal. We play 1 copy of Strategies of Universe 7. This is like my 2nd copy of Apex versus blue decks. When you have to play this infinite attacker, blue decks have that Majin Buu Unison, and that just bottom decks this. So usually you have to slam Apex down to be able to do that. Go into that super combo, but now you can just slam the 6-drop down, which does have deflect, so they can't God Sealing it anyway. Then you can just Strategies on top to give it barrier, and now you can just attack right through their Buu and just win the game that way. So really, really cool 2nd copy of Apex, as I always call it. We have 1 copy of We Are Universe 7. So if you are going first versus Red Coup, this is a great card to side in, because you can Apex them, and you can combo off your Apex, and you Apex them again, which is really great. And by then, they spend 2 cards every turn to prevent Apex from killing them. So at that point, the second time they get Apex, they're going to have 3 cards left in hand. They just lose the Apex anyway. That's why you just leave that deck at 8 or 7 life, and they can't really do anything. It becomes a really free matchup, actually. We Are Universe 7, also really good versus hand control and mill decks. Hand control will randomly rip out your Apex from your hand. You need to have a way to get it back to your hand. Also versus mill decks, they randomly will mill your Apex. You just need a way to get it back to your hand. We Are Universe 7 is a great card for that. And then my last card is always my respect card for SS4 Vegeta. They will ramp on you 1 or 2 times in the early games. You just can't afford to hand control yourself by negating them until you get to Sleepy Boys. So you will have this card just to beat them. Especially in Top Cut, this card is more effective in your side deck than in your hand in Top Cut. Because once you're in Top Cut, they get to look at each other's side deck. So as you go into their turn 7, always just leave 2 energy up. They've looked at your side deck. They know you're playing this. Whether you have it in your hand or not, they can't play it.
They gotta respect it.
Yeah, so I always side 1 just in case for that mind game.
Pro tip, guys.
Yeah. But that's the entire 67 card deck. I never thought I played Invoker at more than 50 in the main, but it has to be done now. And like I said, I'm even trying to push it to a 53rd.
You got any special shout out you want to give to the people?
Yeah, absolutely. As always, I'm shouting out my Fort Walton crew. I'm shouting out the Faux PPG boy. Shout out my boy Chris, who travels everywhere with me. He's topless right now. Don't defund this video, please. And then shout out my girlfriend who always supported me through the event. Catch you guys next time.
Peace.